Also have my new stripper. So my shop is coming along really well with a stripper, a vise, a compressor. I have a grinder if I need it. I also have my mess right here, turkey fryer. I have my ingot thing where I make my copper and my brass pieces. And I've already been making some aluminum. So I have quite a few pieces of aluminum already. That's just the slag from it. So anyway, right now tonight, I'm gonna set up my vise and then I'm gonna straighten up my shop again and get it all cleaned out. And the only reason why it's such a mess is because I've been stripping wire and making copper ingots and taking apart some computers. So a little bit of a mess right now. Need to get rid of my heater because winter is over. And I'm just ready to start getting some stuff cleaned up. Vise is making it so much easier now for me to process my copper because I was having a hard time cutting off this stuff here, which would have to be in my number 2 pile. So I've been kind of just hanging on to it until I got something like this. So now I have it. I'm excited. Can't wait to process all my big copper down to number 1 and number 2. All right, I want to be honest. It's been killing me. Every time I bring one of these in, they give me dirty brass when that's a huge piece of copper. He said there's steel in here or a piece of brass. And I guess if it's a piece of brass and it's not magnetic, then that means it's brass and they give you dirty brass. But I don't understand why they don't give you dirty copper. So I want to see if there's more brass in here than copper. I'll weigh it if I have to. All right, so I cut the end piece off and there is something there. Doesn't appear to be copper, but it doesn't appear to be very thick of anything. So I'm going to try to pull it out with a screwdriver. I'm getting dirty brass price for this. That's an awful heavy piece of copper right there. Matter of fact, I'm going to weigh that thing, see what it weighs. Okay, so I'm curious again. Strangely enough, I pulled that baffle out. It's not a piece of, what do they call it? Brass. I'm getting dirty brass. That's a piece of copper. I'll bet you that's a piece of copper too. So this should be solid copper price instead of dirty brass. All right, so I want to show this to my scrapyard people because every time I bring one of them things in there, they tell me dirty brass, that there's brass inside. There's not brass inside. There's solid copper plates inside. That is copper, not brass. And I can prove that it's copper just by cutting it. You can see it's not brass, it's copper. Okay, so anyways, there's more in there. Okay, so I cut this off and I got ounces, 3.22 ounces. There's 2 more pieces of copper in there. It's 3.5 ounces, 3.79 ounces. I'm getting ready to cut the other end of this off and see how much more copper is in there and then throw the whole thing on there and just see what I got in copper weight. So far I cut both ends off and I come out with nothing but copper. So don't let your, I don't know if your place gives you dirty copper or, excuse me, dirty brass for this because of the brass that's inside supposedly. It's not brass, it's copper. Copper, and there's another one in there I'm getting ready to pull out. There you go, buddy. All right, so I emptied, oh, there's another one right there. Emptied the 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't let your place tell you that this is dirty brass. This is solid copper. And it's probably $3.50 worth or something that size. So there's 4 old baffles inside. There's another one right there. Came out pretty easy actually. But I'm just happy to find out that it's not brass. I'm so happy to find out it's not brass and it's solid copper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we have this end. Damn it. It's already on there. This end came off the other side. This whole piece. So what I've been getting, to be honest with you, disappointingly, dirty brass for. Let's see how much I got. I got this set for ounces. Right there. 11.29 ounces. 16 ounces is a pound. 11.58. 11.87. 12.15. Get on there. 12.44. See if we can get one up here. 12.73. Put this other end on there. 15.95. 16 ounces. That's 1 pound of copper. That should be $3.50. These are copper, not brass. That should be $3.50 just for that one piece. All right, so that was one piece. This is a smaller one. It's got some good weight to it. They always give me dirty brass for it, so I just finally got my vise. Yay, got my vise. I'm so freaking happy. I've been dying to get this thing. We got it hooked up tonight. I'm gonna cut this open and see how much brass is inside. All right, so I've cut this one open, and I do find some stuff in there. I'm about to pull it out and find out what that stuff is. Doesn't look like a whole lot. Even looks like that might be, I don't even know. I'm about to find out when I pull it out. Okay, so I cut this one open. This is a small one. The other one was a huge one. This one, get it off my finger here. This one here, when I cut it open, this looks like a piece of stainless. Then there's a steel spring in there. And then a bunch of little BBs. Not sure if they're magnetic or not yet. The BBs are not magnetic. So what are they? All right, so I got these items here, I pulled out, and these are behind it. So now I need to find out if these are not magnetic, in which they're not. What is that BB made out of? Is it stainless or is it a piece of copper? Okay. All right, so I've came up with that this one has stainless in it, and these beads, they're almost, I mean, you can easily crush them with a pair of pliers. You can easily crush them with pliers. It's not metal. It's not a piece of metal. So I don't know what that is in there. Powderizes. Who knows what that is? Anybody tell me what that is in there? So these, I would say you could probably get away with getting dirty stainless for. These, on the other hand, these are solid copper. That's literally a pound of copper. But these, dirty stainless all day. But cut them open, get this crap out of it, and let's see how much copper you get in it instead of dirty stainless. All right, so right now, if I brought this in, I would have dirty stainless is what they would count that for. So 4.5 ounces, it's 1/4 pound. So 1/4 pound of dirty stainless running about 40 cents a pound would be about 10 cents. All right, so I cut down the other side, and that seems to be something, that doesn't even have any weight to it. So there's no weight to that. That's like a little nothing. That's nothing. Some type of a filter. So there's no weight really right there. But what holds that filter in there is something else. So I'm gonna bang it out of there. All right, so I cut that thing again, and it's magnetic, so it is a piece of steel. They still give you dirty stainless price for it. So everything in there was steel, basically the magnetic, except for this piece right here. So I might just spend a little bit of time. Let's see here. I might just spend a little bit of time cutting these things open, because it doesn't take but literally a couple minutes. And 3.33 of an ounce. This is 3.33 ounces, so 3 1/3 ounces of solid copper. No magnetic to it. I'll take that. I'll take that all day. So I'm going to end up going through a few of these pieces that I have down here and finding out if there's anything in them, because if he gives me a dirty stainless for that piece right there, I swear that thing feels light. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one too. I mean, this is light. It's not great big gigantic. You know, like this one here was a lot bigger than that one, but still, they're giving me dirty brass for that, even if it's not magnetic, because they're saying brass is not magnetic either, so there's brass inside. So I'm going to cut this one to see what's inside. So since I didn't find anything in that piece that was magnetic, I did cut it, and so far what I found is a nice little piece of copper in there. Something else back there. I need to cut the other end off to see what that is. Either way, that's a lot of copper. A lot of copper. So let me cut that other end off. See what we got in there. All right, so what exactly do we have? Just cut it open. We have appears to be a stainless steel screen. A little piece of screen. Might be able to use that later. And then this looks like, apparently there is a piece of stainless steel inside of this thing. There it is, right there. So a small piece of stainless. But if you're bringing this piece to the scrapyard, let's see what we got here. If you're bringing that little piece right there to the scrapyard, and all they're giving you is dirty, what do they call it, sir? Dirty brass. Number one, that's stainless. Maybe it's dirty stainless they're giving you. Dirty stainless, 40 cents a pound. You're gonna have it's on ounces. And like I said again, and I'll be doing more of this. I took my wire, stripped it down, turned it into copper. Nice, beautiful copper. I'm gonna shine this up once I get my grinder set up with my sanding wheel on it. I'm gonna make this look so pretty. This one here I hit with water. And I guess because it cooled so fast, it made a lot of pits in it. This one here, I just kind of let it cool down by itself. So it'll be a little bit easier. That's quite a bit of copper right there. It's wire, solid copper. And I will be putting Scrapping with Grandpa on there. So be watching my videos for the awesome copper videos.